everybody. Welcome on in. It's Trent Gingerman. I'm Mad Valid Mike. You know what this is? This is the Anyone But the Chiefs podcast. Welcome.
Thank you for having me. Pleasure to be back.
Trent is back. We hit on something, I believe, on an episode of the Mad Valid Mike podcast with our Anyone But the Chiefs episode. So I thought we'd bring the hate back. Be some Chiefs haters, and talk about NFL every week. Maybe every week, every other week. What do you think, Trent? You gonna have a little fun today?
We can have fun. Unfortunately, the Chiefs are gonna win again this year.
They're so fucking good. I hate them. Everyone out there in Chief Nation, Arrowhead Land, whatever the fuck you call yourselves, I'm not a fan. Not at all.
They call themselves Swifties.
They're Swifties now. They got Chiefs Nation, and they have all the Swifties. It's pretty annoying, to be honest with you. Yeah. This is episode 1 of Anyone But the Chiefs podcast. We could call it the ABC podcast if we like, with Mad Valid Mike, Trent Ginger Mint. We are going to have about 30 to 45 minutes of fun. We are going to recap week one of the NFL. Love football. Football is back. So good.
Yes.
I'm somewhat embarrassed, Trent, that on Sunday, I watched 12 hours of football.
Yeah, it's no reason to be embarrassed.
12. I could have learned how to knit, set up a website on Etsy, and probably sold some merchandise in 12 hours.
Yeah, well. Football's back, baby.
I think football's a hell of a lot better than that idea. So we're just going to have a couple quick segments. We're going to go over week 1, and we're also going to be your go-to better experts. We're going to give you our expert picks for the upcoming week 2 spreads, and all the money that you make from our picks. We do have a GoFundMe. You're more than welcome to drop in 2%, 3%, 5%, 50%. Keep in mind, after we give you these picks and you make all that money, you wouldn't have made that money had we not given you the picks.
Damn right.
Pretty fucking simple. And then maybe I'll ask Trent. I've got Trent's 6 kind of crazy questions, and maybe have a little fun with that. We'll see how it goes. Trent, are you ready?
So ready.
You are ready to go. So let's talk about week 1. Let's start off with the Chiefs and the Ravens, the opening game of week 1. The 2-time defending Super Bowl champion Chiefs. It's never been done to win it 3 times in a row, the three-peat, and they are off to a great start. Your thoughts?
Yeah, what a game. It was a good game. I was hesitant Thursday night. Ended up going to a bar. Got talked into it.
Shocker.
So glad I did.
Okay.
When I first got there, everybody's, I need so-and-so to have so many yards. And that's just the world we live in now.
Fantasy football is crazy.
Well, that, and everybody has their 10-leg parlays to win them $100,000.
Fantasy football and, the betting. Yeah.
By that last drive, everybody was just a football fan. And everybody was rooting against the Chiefs, it seemed like.
Okay.
And so everybody, likely made that catch.
Yeah.
All that last drive.
Yeah.
Everybody,
yeah.
Bingo. So it was just great. Football was back. It was a great game, but it just feels like those prime Patriots teams, the prime Colts team, whatever the dynasty of the time is, the Chiefs just know how to win in clutch time. When it gets to that time, Mahomes, Kelsey.
He just knows how to win. He knows when to flop. I mean, even if those were legitimate late hit calls or whatever, he finds a way to accentuate it a little bit. He knows when to throw it, when to, tuck it in and run, who to throw it to, when to throw. It's just, other than Kelsey, it feels like he's got a different wide receiver core every year. And so in week 1, he's got a new toy. He's got Xavier Worthy, right? The fastest man in the NFL.
Buffalo
2 touchdowns.
Gave to him.
What's that? Oh, the NFL, yes.
Well, Buffalo traded their pick with Kansas City so that Worthy could get picked there. You didn't, yeah. Buffalo traded down in the draft to Kansas City, and Kansas City took Worthy. I think it was like the last pick.
What is Buffalo doing?
Buffalo will Buffalo.
And they had just lost Stephon Diggs and Gabe Davis, so they needed a wide receiver and a flashy one at that.
Yeah, I just think Josh Allen's going to rush for 3 touchdowns every week. I
He's a
guess.
beast. He's a beast. Yeah, so Mahomes worthy. I think Rashee Rice looks the part of a number one receiver, to be quite honest.
He run a fucking 4.4 now this year? All of a
Rice
sudden?
looks really good, really fast, really physical. With Worthy on the other side, you still have Hardman, Pacheco. You got Kelsey. I don't see anybody stopping them. I hate you all, but it is what it is. Tight end Isaiah Likely for the Ravens did pretty well.
Stud.
9 catches, 111 yards, and 1 touchdown, and the touchdown that didn't count because he was on the line. Which, after the game, Lamar Jackson said, "I still think he was in."
Heel toe, maybe. Yeah.
Okay.
Size 16 instead of a size 15, he would have been in.
And didn't Mahomes come back with something like, "Well, he needs to learn to wear white shoes"? Mahomes has just got it. He's got everything. There was some drama before the game because Brittany wasn't in the same suite as your beloved Taylor, and Brittany liked one post on social media about Trump Vance. So therefore, the critics and the pundits out there were saying, well, Taylor Swift can't be in the same suite because Mahomes obviously supports Donald Trump, and that's not good for Taylor's brand. That's just some of the stuff that takes away from football, but it is what it is. Lamar Jackson, once again, MVP level form. He had 273 yards passing and a touchdown. He rushed for 122. But again, same thing in week 1 as in the playoffs. They abandoned the running game.
Yeah.
You brought in Derrick Henry, who had a touchdown the first half. I believe he only had 13 carries for 46 yards. This is Derrick Henry. Okay, you're saving him for later on in the season, maybe? I don't know. But you abandoned the running game. That's exactly what. Am I wrong?
That's the healthiest he's going to be. I mean, being out most of last year
Mhm.
and then being at the first game of the year. It seemed like whenever he was in, it was either going to be a handoff, a lot of under center.
Yeah.
It just seemed really obvious, telegraphed.
Contrived. Yes. And when Justice Hill came in, you very likely not going to give him the ball, handing it to him, throw it to him.
Yeah. They'll figure it out, maybe. I still think they could be the second best team in the AFC.
We predicted, like a month ago, that they're going to win the Super Bowl. So that's not aging well, but that was a very good Chiefs team. It was on the road. Arrowhead is a very difficult place to play. Andy Reid, Mahomes, is unfortunately becoming, as I speak here on the Anyone But the Chiefs podcast, very similar to Mr. Brady and Belichick. They got a ways to go, but they're certainly in the conversation. Those two.
Oh, yeah.
And then the next game, the second game on Friday, was in Brazil. Quick note on that. Why do we need to play in Brazil? How many billions of dollars does the NFL need? Just let Brazil have soccer. They're good with that. I know they fill the stadium. That's fine. But just a little greedy. So it was Green Bay against the Eagles. You want to talk about another team with weapons. The Eagles.
Oh, yeah.
Saquon had 3 touchdowns. A.J. Brown, I think he might have had a touchdown.
Top 3 receiver in the league.
Yeah, Devontae Smith. I don't think even Jahan Dotson got to play, and he's really good. He came over from the Commanders. The Commies, and Goddard, and then Jalen Hurts. The tush push remains to be seen. It looked like they fumbled on one of them. Jason Kelsey was a big part of that.
Your quarterback being able to squat 1,000 pounds is also a big part of it.
Yeah, again, another Bama guy. We'll talk about Bama guys all through.
He's our stepchild.
Big Bama fan over here, Trent Gingerman. I'm a Gator fan, so there's not much to talk about in the NFL. We've got a bunch of guys in the NFL, but they're not all that good.
Yeah, quarterback for the Colts looked pretty decent.
Anthony Richardson has a laser rocket arm. He stayed healthy. That's all that matters. Now, you're wearing a Tua jersey primarily because of his, being from Bama, right? You're a Colts fan, though.
Absolutely.
Okay. You're a Colts fan, but you love Bama. And then also this previews, we'll get to that in a little bit, the first game in 2 days of week 2. What else? Jordan Love got hurt. I guess he's week to week. I thought he was going to be out for a month or 2.
He's out.
Is he out? For how long? Do you know?
I think it said like 4 at least. 4.
Oh, I must have seen an article earlier.
He's been ruled out for this game, I should say. I don't want to.
Okay, he's been ruled out for this game. So they're going to.
Malik Willis they've said is going to be the starter.
Malik Willis.
You'd think they'd bring somebody else in. Tannehill's out there.
Malik Willis did not look good at Tennessee. Tennessee used a draft pick on him. I don't think it was first round. It was second or third round, maybe. He did not look good when he was called upon a few times in Tennessee. So Good luck to the Packers. I think Josh Jacobs will get a huge amount of the workload on the offensive side of the ball. And they'll probably have some gadget plays, maybe some end arounds. They have that guy, Jaden Reed. Is he a second-year player?
All the receivers, yeah, super young.
I feel like they have 4 or 5 number one receivers in Dobbs. You either have one, maybe they have 0 number one receivers and 4 number twos, but Christian Watson, Dobbs, Jaden Reed, Wicks, they got somebody else too. So yeah, we'll see what happens with the Packers. How about Tyreek Hill? Talking about the Dolphins. Did you see the video? Do we want to get political real quick?
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know if we're the people to be talking about that.
Oh, they love it out there. Yeah, they love it. They want to hear us get political. I will.
Stephen A. Smith
I will.
had his rant on.
I'm sure he did.
Him.
I did not see what it was. I'm gonna go on the fence here and say both parties did not act well. I thought that Tyreek Hill was not completely cooperative, but the police officer went over the top. And
Power.
he did not need to do that.
Power
And then
trip.
then I hear that when he heard it was Tyreek Hill and he was like, it was like this oh shit moment. I'm like, well, what does it matter who it is? Do your job. I love police. I love you all.
Yep.
Okay. There's a couple bad ones here and there, but I think the vast majority are awesome people. This guy in particular, I think went over the line. I also think that Tyreek Hill in his interview saying I completely cooperated is false. He rolled up his window, didn't want the guy tapping on his window, rolled up his window again. It's not, I don't think he did anything to get the guy to grab him out of the car, put him on the ground and so that was weird. And then of course, I thought all the headlines were going to be Tyreek Hill charged for speeding before the game and speeding during the game.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, when he had an 80-yard touchdown reception, he caught it maybe 30 yards from the line of scrimmage and just outran the guys on the sideline for the last 50.
Did you see the video, the dubbed where Gus Johnson was announcing? He goes, he's got running away from the cops.
No, did he say that?
That was pretty. It was a video on the internet.
Oh, so it wasn't the announcer of the game saying.
No. It was like a call from another game that they put on it. It was funny.
Side note: I can't believe I took Breece Hall, number 3 in one of my fantasy leagues, over Tyreek Hill. I'm already upset with myself. We are 1 week in, but I digress. Let's move on. Bengals. I have a Survivor league. You got to pick a different team every week. Just one NFL team to win.
You do.
And if you pick a team to win in week 1, you survive to week 2, and you got to pick a different team every week. And whoever survives the longest wins the pool. I think there was 43 entrants in my pool this year, and 17 took the Bengals over the Patriots at home, which makes sense. I strayed away from them.
Okay.
Who did you take?
The Bears.
Oh, that's right. We both took the Bears.
Which I thought I was out until about 3 o'clock.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a second. But so the Bengals, the reason why I didn't take them, they were the biggest favorite of week 1. I think the line was 9 points.
Yeah.
We breached on it. We touched on it in the episode a month ago, that they're kind of getting too big for their britches, aren't they?
Oh, yeah.
Joe Burrow doing fashion shows in Europe with the backless garment. T. Higgins, I drafted T. Higgins in one of my drafts. No mention of a hamstring issue until roughly 2 hours after I drafted him. Maybe he got an email from that. So he was out. Jamar Chase was like, maybe I'll play, maybe I won't.
Yeah. I mean, explain to me how Jamar Chase has 2 years on his deal, and then you have somebody who's doesn't have a deal, and he gets franchise tagged.
Mm-hmm.
So you're T. Higgins, you don't have a deal,
mm-hmm.
but you show up to work every day for training camp.
Correct.
But then your coworker, who has 2 years left on his deal, is bitching about getting a new deal.
And not for pennies. Is he
out.
Not making $16 million a year?
Yeah.
And the top receivers are making 24, 25.
He wants to get paid more than his LSU buddy.
By 1
Jefferson.
cent, right?
Well, and then he told some about it's going to be way more than 1
all
cent.
right.
But again, just the outlook on that. Like, if you're T. Higgins, you don't have a deal, but your buddy's not showing up to work, and he still has to. It's a freaking
It
mess.
didn't look good.
It
Looked like there's somewhat of a mess out there for sure. And then there's that lingering wrist or thumb deal with Burrow. We'll see what happens with the Bengals. Getting back to the Bears, you said they were down 17-0. We both had them in the Survivor pool. It was 17-0. I was Just getting myself ready for a very depressing Sunday since both my fantasy teams sucked. I had a couple parlays that hit, but I still lost money, shockingly. But the Bears were down 17-0. Caleb Williams, I started in one league, my fantasy league, just playing like he's in high school. You're in the NFL now, sir. You're not going to outrun most guys. And most of these throws that you're just chucking up there that may or may not be 50-50 balls in college or 75-25 balls because you have the better player, that's not going to work in the NFL. So we'll see how he goes. But the Bears defense and special teams came back and helped us out quite a bit with a couple touchdowns on their own. Bears came back to win. Caleb was awesome in pregame and postgame interviews, saying he loves being a Bear, and he was all about how the defense got the win for him.
So you're a diehard Bears fan, or you're a Bears fan?
Yeah, I'm from the suburbs of Chicago.
How do you feel about him,
Caleb?
I just gotta be honest. The whole feminine voice and the whole
fingernails,
and
it's weird for the Bears. The city of broad shoulders, Chicago, and the Windy City, and Bear Down, and we played Dick Butkus and Urlacher and Peyton and Dent and McMichael and Hampton, all those guys, Singletary. Like, we run the football, we play defense, we're physical, and then you got times are a-changing. But I will say that I think Bears fans just want to win. I think there was a time where they wanted to win only with running the football and playing defense. Sure. But I think there's a change going on in Chicago where we just want to win. Of course, we want to be physical. Of course, we want to run the football when we need to. But the Bears traded for DJ Moore. They traded for Keenan Allen. They drafted Odunze. They drafted Caleb Williams, number 1 overall, a known running kind of quarterback, but also can throw it quite a bit and pretty accurate and pretty far. So the Bears have finally acclimated to what the NFL is currently. And I think the fans are with it. They just want to see wins.
I get it. Yeah. I think about it so much. I'm like, it's a lot. But I think if he was my quarterback on my team, I would find a way to defend him.
No doubt.
That's why I just asked. But
Side note, I think there's just an attack on masculinity as a whole in this country right now. But, say what you will about that. All you people can hate me for that or not. This is an NFL podcast, so we should be fine.
Yeah, not too many dudes that paint their fingernails. I don't think are going to be watching.
Yeah, I think I've done it once when I think a girl I liked in high school or maybe in college said, "Mike, I want to paint your fingernails." I'm like, yeah, do whatever you want to do. I don't care. I like it.
The guy has a lot of confidence in his own skin, right?
He does, and good for him. Just lead us to victories. I don't care what you do. Have purple hair. Remember when Dennis Rodman was on the Bulls? The Chicago fans hated Dennis Rodman when he was a Piston. When he came to the Bulls with all his haircuts and all the, he married himself and all that stuff. He helped us win 3 more titles. Us, if I'm part of the Cowboys Browns.
Wow.
How about those Brownies? Talk to me about the Browns.
Deshaun Watson, highest paid quarterback of all time. At the time, that's just a bummer. I mean, it's just a bummer. Now, the Cowboys could be really good. They got everybody's paid and everything. Yeah. But, golly. I mean, the Browns' defense is insane. You got Amari Cooper and Jerry Jeudy, 2 elite receivers. Aside from the Dolphins and Eagles, maybe the best receiving.
Are those both Bama guys? Bama's all over the NFL. Oh, my God. They're all over the NFL. For sure. And I was going to say Nick Chubb, but he went to Georgia, so that's fine.
Yeah. But still, the skill positions on that team, the O-line is huge. It's awesome. It's just quarterback.
Don't they have Denzel Ward, too, as cornerback? One of the best cornerbacks?
Oh, their defense is phenomenal.
Oh, yeah. Myles Garrett.
They led the league in defense last year in almost every category. So when it's just the quarterback and when your quarterback is eating up a quarter of your salary cap, I mean...
You know what I think it is? One of my leagues, I drafted the Browns as defense, and they dropped to me like way late. And I'm like, you guys are idiots. You gave me the best defense in the league. And then an email went to all Browns defensive players saying, Mad Val and Mike drafted you. I think that's what happened. But the Cowboys looked really good. The Cowboys are going to do running back by committee, it looks like, with Ezekiel and Dowdle and I don't even know
Deuce Vaughn.
And Deuce Vaughn, the tiny, I was going to say midget. Can't say the little person, but he's Yeah, he's super
Don't
quick.
say that.
How could you? I'm sorry. My bad. Yeah, you want to kick me off the show?
You want these people picketing outside your house?
Yeah, I do not. We're all
Little
born.
signs and shit?
We're all born with different things, and good. Yeah. How about Kirk Cousins in Atlanta? Did you watch any, or did you hear about any about that game?
Yeah, I saw some highlights. I mean that they dug themselves a fucking 6-foot hole. That whole fan base is going to be begging for Penix in 2 or 3 weeks. I mean, their fan base has no loyalty to Kirk Cousins.
None. Although they paid him a ton of money. I wonder if there were some ESPN experts like us saying that Kirk Cousins is obviously not recovered from his injury last year, his Achilles injury.
Sure.
Even to the point where he will not go under center because it puts too much pressure on his Achilles and part of his game is the play action under center.
Right.
So I don't know if the Falcons, they signed him and then a few weeks in, a month or two in, they're like, oh my God, we better draft a quarterback.
Yeah.
That could have happened.
It could have. It makes very little sense, but I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
Atlanta's one of those fan bases. The Steelers do travel well, but from things I heard, the Falcons were having to go on a silent count. That crowd was so Steelers based, and I have some family in Atlanta. From anything I've seen, people there don't care about their team. I mean, they're all college fans down there. They're either Georgia or Georgia Tech. They could give a gosh darn that they have a pro team.
The only thing
it's just tough to.
I guess. I mean, the only thing I remember about that, Atlanta specifically, is the Braves were good for a long, long time, and they would very rarely sell out even playoff games.
Right.
I remember the Atlanta Hawks NBA team had trouble for a while. I don't watch the NBA, so I don't know, but that makes sense. I mean, there should be excitement down there with Bijan Robinson, Kyle Pitts, Gator, and Drake London had a good year last year.
Right.
They've got some pieces there, and then Kirk Cousins coming over, but he just didn't look healthy. So we'll see what happens there. Also, this is overreaction Tuesday, as it would be.
Damn right.
Steelers defense. I mean, Steelers have a good defense every year.
Incredible.
And Watt is back. Is Hayward still on their line?
Hayward signed shortly. Yeah, not too long ago. Highsmith is there. Minka Fitzpatrick, Roll Tide.
Okay, another one. Shocker. Yeah, so we'll see what happens with both those teams. Justin Fields managed the game. They didn't really have to do much. They got a win, which is all that matters in the NFL is W's. Justin Fields led them. They're saying he's going to start week 2.
I hope we get to see Russell. I just love Russell as a character.
I do too.
He's so funny.
He is.
His pregame antics and everything.
He seems like he's such a goody-good, and I just don't think he is.
Well, I went over to my family's house to watch the Colts game, and my old man was like, man, I was watching the damn pregame, and I had to turn that shit off. And I was like, why? What happened? Man, they were going through Russell Wilson's warm-up and analyzing his warm-up for 30 minutes. And I'm like, oh, well, that's the world we live in, I guess.
It is. Here's a quick one. J.K. Dobbins, good for him. 10 rushes, 135 yards for the Chargers.
All in the second half.
All in the second half. Jim Harbaugh's a ground and pound guy, so maybe he's been reborn. He's had a ton of injuries out of Ohio State, ton of injuries in the NFL, season-ending injuries. So I'm kind of happy for him. Happy for a guy that gets up from off the mat and fights back to success.
The team could be sneaky, but they're in the Chiefs division.
They're not making the playoffs this year.
No.
Daniel Jones and the Giants are a disaster. At home, the uniforms were almost as bad as their play. Sam Darnold and the Vikings took care of business. Sam Darnold didn't have to do much, but he did enough. Mm-hmm. Justin Jefferson, still a superstar. I think Addison got hurt, if I'm not Jordan Addison.
Okay.
I heard maybe.
Yeah, Giants and the Panthers are going to be fighting for that number 1 draft pick. I fear.
Panthers are just, ugh. The Panthers just, I don't even know what to say about them. I mean, Bryce Young and Bama, but
unfortunately,
the Panthers basically traded for Bryce Young. They traded Caleb Williams, DJ Moore, and Roma Dunze for Bryce Young. And they before that they traded away Christian McCaffrey. Like, I feel like I could be an owner of a team. If that's what you can do and still be an owner, I feel like I could be an owner of a team. That's pretty much it. That was a week 1 recap. Whether you like it or not, I don't care. I thought it was a pretty good recap. We're going to go over week 2 lines, and we're going to make you some money. The reason why you watch is to laugh a little bit, chuckle a little bit, relate a little bit, hate us because we hate your Chiefs. That's fine. You can look at Trent. Trent's a decent-looking guy. I hear from women all the time. They don't think that way of me, so I guess I'm just here for my personality. That's fine. So week 2 starts off with Buffalo Bills at Miami. We're going to kind of do rapid fire what the line is and who you like and who I like, and we'll go from there. So Buffalo at Miami. Miami is -2.5. Your thoughts?
I think is Tyreek Hill had the 180-yard catch.
Mhm.
I think he gets better. He gets more focused. I love Miami. Buffalo struggled. Offensive line issues, skill position issues, secondary issues. I just love Miami at home. Love their vibe.
I love Miami as well. I think Buffalo beat a okay Arizona team. Buffalo was at home. At home Buffalo, the Bills Mafia it's tough to beat them. And Josh Allen was once again Superman, but I see Miami winning this game big as well. Okay, going on to the 1 p.m. Sunday games. The Raiders at the Ravens. The Ravens are favored by 9.5 points.
Now, yeah, the Vegas look good. They look decent. The defense definitely looked good. Giving up 135 yards to J.K. Dobbins all in the second half last week, though, and this Baltimore running team's a lot better. It's a lot of points. I've always said this. We talk about this. When it's 9.5, and we're doing this on Tuesday, it might be different on Friday.
A lot of things could happen. This is a Tuesday.
If you're giving me 9 in the hook, I got to take Baltimore.
Yep. And I might release this on Wednesday or Thursday, but we are recording this on Tuesday, so deal with it. I like Baltimore minus the 9.5 and the under 41.5. I am going to make a prediction. The Baltimore Ravens are going to win this game 24-3. Put that in the bank. You can pay off your mortgage. You can go buy a new car if you have enough money to put down. And if it doesn't come in, sorry, you listen to me. All right, moving on. Carolina Chargers. Chargers are on the road, minus 6.5.
You can get a ticket to this game. I just saw online a minute ago. 2 tickets, $1.80 for 2 tickets to a home opener game in the National Football League.
Hoping that you buy a $30 hot dog and a $47 beer and maybe a $120 jersey that you'll be setting on fire within a year and a half.
Yeah, bingo.
You like the Chargers.
Absolutely.
I like the Chargers. Okay, so the 3 favorites so far. New Orleans at Dallas. Dallas is minus 6.5. New Orleans coming off a huge win over the hapless Panthers at home. Only a 6.5 point underdog. Your thoughts?
It's weird. Yeah, obviously they played Carolina, but New Orleans looked great. Derek Carr looked great. Still got Kamara. Again, the 6 in the hook. It's like they're baiting you to take the favorite here by just under a touchdown. Dallas home opener. The fans didn't show up for training camp, but I guess I'll take the favorite here.
Yeah, I'm going Dallas as well. Tampa Bay at Detroit. Detroit is favored by 7.5. Baker Mayfield has become a really good quarterback in Tampa Bay. Mike Evans continues to shine every single year. Godwin appears to be healthy. Rashad White is playing good at running back. But they're still a 7.5 point dog at Detroit. Detroit barely beat the Rams. So I like Tampa Bay in that game.
I do too. And again, I think it's Vegas trying to bait you there with 7 in the hook. When you get that hook there. But yeah, Tampa looked great. Detroit's coming off an emotional win. Maybe a little letdown.
Yeah, I'm going to say Tampa Bay. I'm going to say Tampa Bay 27, Detroit 23. So again, more money for you. Take Tampa, the underdog, and the under 51 points, just barely at 50. Indianapolis, Green Bay. Indianapolis is minus 3.5. Green Bay is without their starting cornerback, Love. They're starting Malik Willis, who we said earlier did not look the part in Tennessee. Who knows in a new environment? I like the Colts minus the 3.5 and Anthony Richardson, Gator.
Love it. Yeah, we didn't go over that game, but I mean, I think Houston is a really damn good ball club.
Yeah.
Only thing is the secondary for the Colts. I cannot see us trotting that secondary out there all year. I just can't. I mean, we had special teamers out there covering people, but I still like us against Green Bay.
Okay, good.
Maybe a low scoring.
In the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field. Cleveland. The disaster, the dumpster fire, which is the Cleveland Browns franchise, is going to Jacksonville, and Jacksonville only has to give up 3.5 points. I like Jacksonville huge in this game.
We might disagree here.
Okay, you're going to disagree?
Nobody's talking about Jacksonville. I feel like nobody's talked about them. Trevor Lawrence has gotten to the point where, okay, it's not a sophomore, it's his third year, right?
Almost irrelevant. I don't know.
Very irrelevant. Yeah, I think Cleveland's got to figure it out. That defense is so good. Their skilled positions are so good. I think just Watson needs to just be more of a game manager. Don't do everything. So we're going to disagree on this one.
Yeah, no doubt. In the NFL, oftentimes, 1 week to the next, teams are completely different. Mm-hmm. And you're like, how did they look so bad last week and so good this week? It just matchups, coaching, who knows?
Any given Sunday.
Yep, any given Sunday is correct. San Francisco at Minnesota. San Francisco is favored by 5.5. I don't think it matters if C-Mac is playing or not. They have a replacement there that, I feel like me and you could probably run for 50 yards behind Trent Williams, but
damn right.
I do like San Francisco.
Yeah, short week, playing at 1 after playing Monday night, doesn't matter. I like Minnesota's coach. They have couple pieces, but
O'Connell? Is that his name?
Yeah, Kevin O'Connell. KOC.
KOC. The cock.
That's a no-brainer.
The big cock. Seattle at New England. New England is underdogs by 3.5, so they're a home dog by 3 in the hook against Seattle. I think that New England has a winning franchise. Obviously, you had Belichick and Brady leading the way, but Kraft is no dummy, and it just shows that they took care of the Bengals. The Bengals are kind of a mess themselves, but I like New England in this game to win. New England money line, put $1,000 on it. If you win, give me some of that. What are your thoughts?
I like Seattle here. I think New England a little fluky, definitely winning pedigree, but they just don't have the players. I think last week very emotional win.
They're trying to get a win for their head coach, their first-time head coach.
Yeah, I think Seattle. Yeah, I like Geno. I like Kenneth Walker.
All right. New York Jets at Tennessee. The Jets are favored by 4.5. Aaron Rodgers did survive the entire first game. Garrett Wilson underimpressed in the second half. But Tennessee, led by Will Levis and Ridley and Hopkins and Tony Pollard, they have a new coach, I believe. I think the Jets get off the schneid and get a victory there. What do you think?
I don't think schneid. I think Rodgers looked good. I think the Niners team are going to do that to a lot of teams. And you watched the Bears. I was obviously watching the Colts at the 1 o'clock for the most part. I didn't watch that Bears. I think from what I saw highlights-wise, Levis gave that game away.
You know what I just noticed, Trent? I don't think I looked at the camera for like 20 minutes.
Yeah, I don't do that a lot.
Is that normal? You guys are just listening to my voice. You don't want to see my face. You're staring at Trent anyway. Fuck off. Yeah, you're right. Schneid probably is harsh word in that Boomer on ESPN used to say, get off the schneid when you've lost at least 3 or 4 games in a row. The Jets lost the first game at a very good San Francisco team in week 1. So they're not really on the schneid. I do think they cover the 4.5 by a lot.
Rodgers went on McAfee today. He was jovial. He was joking.
Okay. He knew it was going to be a tough game going in there.
Vibes are great in that locker room.
Yeah, for sure.
Got retooled O-line. Yeah,
for sure.
They're good. That's still my Super Bowl.
New York Giants at the Washington Commanders. The Commanders have a 2.5 point spread.
You have a toilet bowl?
Yeah, the toilet bowl. This is the toilet bowl. I don't even want to pick this game. Fuck this game. Los Angeles Rams against Arizona. Well, let's pick that game just for shits and giggles. I'm going to say the Giants look so bad in week 1 that they'll somehow turn around in week 2 and look better.
I love it.
Okay. And then the Rams at Arizona. Arizona has a 1.5 point spread. 1.5 points for Arizona.
No Puka.
No Puka. Puka's out for at least 4 games.
You still have the 9 to dime connection, Stafford to Cup. Stafford looked like he's still out of live arm, even though he's become a bit of a public cuck.
Yeah.
Have you heard about this with his wife having the podcast?
What are they doing?
No, it's just his wife has a podcast and she goes on there and just airs out their dirty laundry.
the teams are theirs?
No, theirs. Their personal relationship.
So what does cuck mean?
Like a cuckold in the Shakespearean sense?
What does that mean? I'm just not very smart.
I think the literal definition is something along the lines of like having a woman and that woman fucking other guys or something.
His wife.
But it's more so like just she told a story on there like a week or two ago, maybe longer, but about her banging when they were at Georgia. They met at Georgia. She was banging the backup.
Yeah.
She was banging the backup quarterback to try to make him jealous.
I did hear that.
And he would sit outside of the dorm and wait for her to come out of his dorm room.
Wait, and they were on the same podcast together talking about this?
No, it's just her.
Oh.
But it just still is humiliating for him.
No doubt.
Because they're still happily married together. It's just weird.
That is weird. I'll have to look into that. For that reason alone, I'm rooting for Stafford to beat Arizona. just for that reason alone.
So Marvin Harrison
is his wife's name Kelly?
Kelly Stafford.
Keep your shit in the family.
Yeah.
Get the hell out of here. You're gonna be right up there with Taylor Swift before you know it. Did you like?
She's done so much.
The Rams. Yeah, she's fine.
I'm a huge Marvin Harrison guy. I think he gets off the schneid. He truly got off to a bad start. Murray looked great.
Just one catch for 4 yards in his debut.
Murray looked good. I like that team. Without Puka, the Rams pretty much have Cooper Kupp and Matt Stafford, and that's about it.
And Pittsburgh at Denver. Pittsburgh's a 3.5-point favorite over Denver in Denver.
Denver stinks.
Okay, let's go Pittsburgh there. Mike Tomlin's just the coolest man in the NFL.
Yeah, and Denver has Sean Payton, but I think Sean Payton's somewhere between a good coach and John Gruden.
I just wanted to let them know I'm still aware that there's a camera out there. What did you say about?
I think Sean Payton's somewhere in between a good coach and John Gruden. I'm not sure about him. He's just a rah-rah guy.
He might be.
This team is not a great team. They're still suffering from the Russell Wilson cap
debacle. Oh,
right.
It was
and
just
Bo Nix is a rookie quarterback.
Horrendous.
Looked good in preseason.
Yeah.
This is real life.
Cincinnati at Kansas City. By the way, the name of this podcast is Anyone But the Chiefs. For that reason alone, I'm taking Cincinnati. Take the money line on Cincinnati. Kansas City looked unstoppable. Cincinnati's a complete mess. So what does Contrarian Mike do? I go $100 on the Cincinnati money line.
They're playing at Burrowhead, right?
They're playing at Burrowhead. You're still going to take Kansas City, aren't you? -6.5, Casey.
I'll refrain.
What's that?
I'll refrain from.
So you're not even going to make a pick on that.
No.
Okay, no pick for DGM there. Bears at the Texans on Sunday Night Football on NBC. We talked about how Caleb Williams was erratic and got the ball batted down like 5 times, couldn't hit receiver, trying to run away from guys he couldn't run away from. Houston has so many weapons with Mixon and Diggs and Tank Dell and Nico Collins, and even you throw Dalton Schultz in there. They're just loaded. CJ Stroud in his second year, he did look a little weird against Indy. He didn't look right against Indy, but he still threw for like 2 touchdowns and 250.
The turf was fucked up, but he's still incredibly good at football.
Yes, yeah. So I like Houston.
Second best left tackle in the league in Tunstall.
Do you like Houston in that game?
I do. I mean, I think Houston, they're really, really, really good.
I'm going to give you a prediction on that game. I'm going to say Houston 34, Bears 14. More easy money, just low-hanging fruit. You watch this podcast, you're just going to, I don't know if you're going to be a millionaire because you got to have cojones and money you got to spend money to make money, but I'm giving you free money. And the final game, Monday, Atlanta at Philadelphia. The disaster that is the Atlanta Falcons played against Pittsburgh, couldn't muster hardly any offense against Philadelphia with just weapons upon weapons upon weapons, and Philadelphia's only given up 6.5 points.
Primetime Kirk Cousins.
And Kirk Cousins is awful in prime time, isn't he?
That's the
it's like 2-20 or something. I'll look that up in post. 2-20 is probably a bit harsh, but I think I'm close. I'm going Philadelphia. I'm going Philadelphia 41, Atlanta 22. Yeah, put that in your pipe and smoke it. What happened? You want to see my sheet? Go ahead. So I'll just keep them entertained. How are we doing? Yeah. I hate the Chiefs. Yeah. Oh, are you just?
We're gonna put every game in and see who will win.
Oh, we're gonna put in every game for just a $1 parlay. The ones that we disagreed on. That's good. Oh, just the ones we agreed on.
Sure.
Okay, just the ones we agreed on. So as you're doing that, I've got some questions for you.
Okay.
last last time we had 5 awkward questions. I asked you about something we shouldn't talk about, coworkers. We're not going to do that this time. Are you going to watch the presidential debate tonight?
Oh, I can't wait.
So you are. So you are going to watch it. Do you think that Trump? Who do you think is going to win that debate?
I think Trump's gonna win. I think it's interesting. I mean, it's gonna be a lot of shit talking.
No doubt.
I go back to the vice presidential debate
Okay.
with Pence and Kalamala.
Okay. What? I didn't even remember that one. I don't think I watched that one.
There's just so many times where he would kind of cut her off a little bit.
So now they have.
Just even a little bit. He'd cut her off just a little bit.
I'm talking.
Excuse me, I'm talking.
I did see that. I did see the clips of that. I'm sorry. I'm talking.
If she does that to Donald Trump and he just goes into full Trump mode of just, oh really? This is how you're gonna run our country? Like
We'll see.
I mean, again, debates. I'm a lot younger than you are.
Yeah.
Obama was elected when I was in the 5th grade.
Okay.
I've never got to experience really debates that much, but I mean, I feel like forever and ever, and Shane Gillis, stealing this from him, debates were, hi, I'm so-and-so, and I care about education. Oh, very nice, very nice.
I'm looking for your vote.
I'm so-and-so, I'm from the South, and I care about religion. Oh, very nice, very nice. And then Trump came up, and he was like, Rand Paul is ugly. And everybody was like, oh, shit, you can do that?
The game changed.
Yeah.
The game changed.
So, it's must-see television. I'm excited.
I remember back, I think it was Dan Quayle and somebody else said something like, I know Jack Kennedy. I work with Jack Kennedy. I think it was Lloyd Benson who said this. You're no Jack Kennedy. And like, oh, it was such a burn. And oh, it was so crazy. That's nothing now. Anyway, so that was a yes. That's a correct answer. 1 for 1. Do you wash your feet in the shower? The bottom of your feet?
Yeah.
Interesting. This is a question that's kind of making its way around social media circles.
I've heard some people.
And I do now only because I used to think like all the soap and everything would go down your body and you're standing in all the soap and the clean stuff, but I guess that wasn't the case. And my feet definitely feel cleaner now that I do it.
That's good.
I probably shouldn't have even admitted that. So you said yes, that was a correct answer. Best live event you've ever been to? Sports, music, anything. Your best live event.
I went to the Kansas City Colts AFC divisional, maybe I guess it would have been.
Okay.
2018, I believe, was Andrew Luck's final full season. It was a blizzard. There was so much snow. We tailgated and put out this table, and it was snowing so hard that we would go take a piss, come back 2 minutes later, and there would be this much snow on the table.
Really?
It was just crazy. Just great memories, great vibes. We lost that game, but
So you did a road trip from Indy to KC, is that what you did?
in the middle of a blizzard, yeah, stop and go traffic the whole way.
How many people
16
went?
hours. There was 4 of us, but we had other people that came
Okay.
different times, and we all met up in the tailgate.
Amazing.
That was fun. I can remember some fights that I wasn't at live, but being places, whether homes or bars, a couple fights. McGregor, Mayweather.
But no concerts. Are you a
Fury.
concert guy or no?
I am not enough to
Okay.
be that memorable. I'm sorry.
I'm going to give you a correct answer on that Colts-Chiefs game. You laid it out pretty good there. You had a lot of determination, you and your buddies, to get there. So good for you. That's a correct answer.
Well, I came in here when I came up to your house today. You were playing the guitar.
I was rocking and rolling. I'm jamming.
Concert.
We're getting. So for all of you non-guitar players out there, I play like this. So the left hand is the one that holds the strings down, and the fingers hold the strings down. You got to get calluses like all over, because when you haven't played, I haven't played in a couple months, and it hurts your fingers a lot to press the strings down. Well, the type of guitar I have, I need a new one. But once you get those calluses going and it's easier to play, then you can really jam. So I'm trying to force my way through that. Anyway, that was a complete sidebar that made very little sense.
I could do the Seven Nation White Army intro.
Okay.
That's the farthest I got.
Huh, that was nice. Where have you never been that you want to go?
Hawaii.
Hawaii. That was a quick answer, and it's a correct answer.
They call that a snap call in poker.
Snap call.
I got 6th place.
I'm all in. Call.
That's nice.
Your least favorite food. Least favorite food. We're getting close to the end here.
I'm not a big fan of cheese. I'm not a cheese guy.
Really?
I like pizza.
You like?
But I'm not a big fan of cheese.
I was waiting on a guy yesterday that refused to have ranch on his buffalo wrap, and somebody at the table was like, "No ranch in your buffalo wrap?" And he goes, "I hate white creamy anything," and just kept saying it over. I'm like, and there were women. I'm just like, dude, it was so awkward. I'm just like, yeah, I get it. You're trying to talk. I know what you're trying. Just all right. You don't. Okay, no ranch. Anything. Stop saying it. It was great. Your favorite. I want you to talk here for just a couple seconds about game shows. Have you ever watched game shows? And if so, your least favorite food was cheese? That's incorrect. Cheese is incredible. That is incorrect. Complete wrong answer. Your favorite game show?
I used to watch America's Got Talent with my family. That's a pretty good one. I'm not sure how game showy that is. More of a talent show.
Okay.
It's good. It's fun. Just watching people, perform. They got a little over the top with the backstories and shit. I used to watch Deal or No Deal with my mom. That's a good one. Deal or No Deal. Maybe I'm just a big fan of Howie Mandel, now that I think about it.
Yeah, all right. I mean, Deal or No Deal.
Oh, Jeopardy!
Jeopardy is your favorite game show. I was waiting for you to get to that because everything else was incorrect. Jeopardy is correct. Trent Ginger Mint, great seeing you. Sorry I didn't look at you much. Don't care. You can look at Trent. He's a good-looking, much better-looking guy than me. This is the ABC podcast, the Anyone But the Chiefs podcast. We welcome in Chiefs fans. We welcome in Chiefs haters. We're going to talk NFL all year long, and whenever I can, rip on the Chiefs. I don't know how many losses they're going to have, but if and when they lose, it's going to be a celebration, that podcast.
Goddamn right.
No doubt about it. So anyway, Trent, I guess we're going to do what is it, the slide off now? We get up and leave? What is it, the Sunday Night Football slide in with Chris Collinsworth? This is making no sense. Let's just get up and leave, and we're done. Goodbye. Until next episode, I guess everyone be good, do good. If you're a Chiefs fan, screw off.
That was awesome. That was perfect.